Hi, welcome to my channel. This is the Reading Stitcher. My name is Amy, and this is a Flosstube for the update of my progress in February and the first week of March. So, to start things off, I have a very small finish. I've been working on this for probably a ridiculous amount of time. You can see this is a Mill Hill kit. This is the Evergreen Sleigh. And I finished putting in the beading today during my lunch break at work. So I just need to cut it out, put some felt on the back, and use the remaining beads to kind of create the thread to hang it with. This is my first ever Mill Hill finish. Not sure how that's going to come out. I hope you guys can see that okay. This is my first one, and this was also my first ever attempt using beads. So a lot of the beads on this are actually placed wrong. You probably won't be able to tell. But a lot of the petites that should have been using a full cross, I didn't do the full cross properly. I know how to do them now, but I'm still really happy with the way that this turned out. It took me a really long time. It took me a long time to get the hang of the beading, and also a long time to get used to working on the canvas. And I only pulled it out every now and again. So that was finished today. And you guys won't be able to see it, but I have a really big pile here of progress. So I worked on, I think maybe 16 or 17 of my whips this month, and I got over 10,000 stitches, which is actually a first for me. So I was really happy with the amount of progress that I made, and I'm kind of hoping to match it this month, though this hasn't been as great a first week as it was last month. So I'm going to start with one of my oldest projects that's really close to a finish. So this is a year in silhouettes, and I'll put a picture here of what it was at last time that you guys saw it. And I had the goal to finish this month. Sadly that did not happen. I don't know why. I think I just get to the end of it and just sad to kind of see it go, so I'm just kind of dragging out a bit, I think. So this is where it was, and I'll just kind of roll it up. You can see here. And then this is where I got to. So I know my lighting's not the best where I'm sitting right now. I'm actually downstairs in my basement apartment. But you can see here, down here, I have maybe 300 stitches left. So I finished this month the snowman. Let's see if I can make this a little easier so you guys can see it. So this month I finished the snowman and the first of the two kids. And I'm so close to finishing this. And then this will, so I'm going to say it again, but my goal is to finish it this month. And that was the project that I worked on first. And I'm going to be going back and forth between my spreadsheet here, but the amount of I got 314 stitches into that, and it will be out again this month. The next project that I worked on was Heaven and Earth Design, Celestine, artwork by Margaret Morales. And let's see if I can get this a little easier for myself. So I'll put a picture in here what you saw in my last video, and this is where we're at now. So you can see that I have gotten through most of another page. I ended up working down instead of my usual across the row. I kind of wanted to get more of her wing done, and I'm really enjoying this one. and she got, let me just check here, so she's already been pulled out again in March, so some March progress in this, and she got 403 stitches in February, and so far this month she has 102 stitches. Yeah, so sorry, I have a bit of a problem where my programs was quitting on me. So this is where she's at. Next, I worked on one of my focus pieces for the year, and that's my mini wind and snow dragon. It's another Heaven and Earth Designs. Nearly all of my full coverages are. It's my favorite kind of charting designer. I'll put up here the progress that I had last time you guys saw her, and this time around I managed to get the page finished and started on the new page. So this is what she looks like fully, and I finished, this is really difficult, this page right here. So when you guys first saw her, I think she only had a little bit of that page done, and then I've already started on the next page because she's one of my main focuses this year. I'd like to get to the end of the row, and that is going to be one more page and then a partial page. So she got 1,739 stitches, and this month she has 100 stitches. I'm using her for one of my challenges. Actually, I'm using all my full coverage for a challenge, but so she's going to get a lot of work again this month. And I'll explain kind of more of my challenges and my plans, because it's going to drastically affect, I think, what I'm going to be working on this time around. So my next pattern is my Cathedral Woods Goddess by Mirabilia. And it just occurred to me that I haven't been saying what count and stuff everything is on. Those were all in white. I'll just start now. So my Cathedral Woods Goddess is on a Stonehenge dyed by Stitch Me. It's the fabric of the month, and it's a 16 count. And I'll put here what she looked like last time you guys saw her. And she got 232 stitches, which is almost completing the section at this part of like her shoulders. And I'm bead as I go, so you'll see there's some beading here. The lighting is not the best, but it's really not the best thing. There we go. That's a little bit better. So you can see just kind of where I'm at right there. You can't get all the sparkle here, but I finished all the beading on this side. So the beading on this side for right, at least the top bit, is completely done. And I just started the beading on the right side. So there's a couple, maybe 100 to 200 more beads, maybe a little bit more on this side. And then her top half here will be completely done, at least in that section of the pattern. Sorry, my lighting's not the best because I'm kind of, I don't have the best lighting just downstairs at my place in general. And I hope you guys can't hear my fireplace because it keeps popping on. But so I'm just using like my desk lamp to kind of give me some light. As you can see, it kind of the program I guess that I'm using to record is not kind of grabbing that in the best way. The next project that I worked on was Mini Serenity, artwork by Julie Fain, Heaven and Earth Designs. This is on a 16 count. Ada, and I'll put a picture up here where she was at last time. And so far she got 1,572 stitches, in February, and she's gotten 100 this month, and she's going to stay out because my minis are part of my focuses this year because they're some of my oldest full coverage, and obviously they have the least amount of stitches. So this is what she looks like now. So you can see maybe her wing here is really coming in, and then there's a bit like of a light part right here, and that's kind of like the start of the moon and then the top of another wing. Hopefully my dog's whining isn't gonna come across because he's a husky. He's got to complain. So the next project that I have is Baby Daenerys. Artwork by someone on Etsy whose name I honestly cannot pronounce. I think it's Najiska something. If I can, I'll add it to the picture. And sorry, that's my dog. This is going to be a gift for one of my friends. She knows she's getting it, so I don't need to worry about her stumbling across my video. This was part of my whip go, and she should have gotten 1,000 stitches, but she only got 444. And then another 100 or so, 300, another 300 this month. So she still has a little bit to go. I've decided that I'm not going to kind of push myself on my whip go. So as long as I complete it within the year, I'm going to count it. And this is where she was when you saw her last. And this is what she looks like now. So I've got a lot of my next dragon complete. So this dragon here was done already. Sorry guys. There we go, it's a little bit better. And I did a bunch of the back stitch that kind of runs up through here, but you can't see it very well in this lighting here. And more the background, which is this kind of purpley color, and I almost finished the dragon. Sorry, I'm trying to get the best angle here to get not light. So yeah, she's gonna get, I put her in for one of my challenges so that I could finish my book logo on her, but honestly it's not my favorite. Something about the back stitch just is killing it for me, and I'm honestly having a really hard time with it, so I'm gonna keep her out until I'm able to swap, and then that's it. Then you're fine. Sorry. So my next project is the Blackwater Siren Sal by Bella Filipina. I have a picture here of what she looked like last time, and that got 368 stitches last month, and that brought me to a finish on part 1. Now I did add in all the beading. There was a couple new beads. There was a bead type in here that I'd never worked with before. And you can kind of see some of the shimmer in here. So we're actually up on this to like part 6. So I'm gonna keep this out because I'm not gonna get caught up to date. I'm not gonna finish it this year, but I would like to at least be actively working on it. When I started the Cathedral Wood Goddess, I didn't realize I would be starting so many like of the fancy projects, but I kind of love them now. This next one is also a fancy lady, and this is Belle de Mer by Joan Elliott. And there's a picture here of what she looked like before, because she had just been started. This was a new start, I think January new start. And I am finished her body on this side, so all I have left on this side on this page is her hair, and that's honestly most of this page. But I have most of her arm done, and the back stitching is in there as I go, but it's just not coming out. But it is like a chronic back stitch. A little bit of a shine there. but it's coming in really well. There's a lot of backstitch, just because there's so many design kind of motifs in her shirt. That's also one that I'm really enjoying. Another project that was a new start in December was my Santa Claus kit. It was just a kit that my mom bought me from a dollar store. She wanted me to make this into an ornament for her. The snowman that goes with this one is already done. So this is where he was before. And it just occurred to me that I didn't tell you the stats on Beldamere. So Beldamere got 405 stitches. And Santa Claus has gotten 105. And this is what he looks like now. So his face is done. I just need to start putting in the beard here. And then this arm is also done. So there's still quite a ways to go. I'd say I'm probably 25% done. Obviously there's no real way to know when it's like a paper kit, but just eyeballing it. I like this pattern. It would be quick, but I'm not a big fan of this this fabric. This was like a sample of fabric, and my needle, I'm not sure if it's a dollar store needle because it's the dollar store kit needle, but it just does not go through this very smoothly. And obviously the floss likes to fray, right, because it's just a cheap kit. So my next one is another new start from January, I believe, which was the Fox by Cottage Garden Samplers. This is what he looked like before, and he's gotten 205 stitches. So I finished his head. There was only a few more stitches left in his head, and then I started working on the trees on this side. So one of these trees are done, and I'm working on the second one. And I actually miscounted somehow, but, well, not somehow, obviously I can't count when I'm doing this stuff, when I'm stitching, but I've decided to just kind of roll with it, and I just kind of adjusted it a bit in the tree, because that's the only place I was having trouble so far. See that? And I think he's so cute. My goal is to try and eventually do this entire series, because I just love them. I have the swans as well that are fully kitted up, so that will probably be the one I start next. And then the next project that I worked on was Boreal Colors by Eder Jose Rosa, and this was a new start. I don't think you guys have seen it yet, but this is where we got to. This is on a 25 count white Lugana, and this got 3,115 stitches in February, and has gotten another 200 already in March. So it's mostly all black. You can barely, at least on the camera here, there's like this kind of small bit right here of like a dark blue that in person you can really see. But there's a lot of black so far. In fact, there's a lot of black just in this pattern. And I'm gonna try to remember to put in the what the pattern looks like, because it's gorgeous. Some of you have probably already seen it. It's by the same person who did the Unenchanted Place. I think so. I think that's the name of it. So the next project that I worked on, just put a few stitches in, was Which Way, another Heaven and Earth design by Molly Harrison, and on 25 count Lugana. And I'll put up a picture here of where it was before, and she got 303 stitches in February. And so I just kind of started this new page, so I was just working these kind of blocks in here, just in here. I'm still kind of in the top row, and I'll probably work my way across this row just to see how far across like it goes, to make sure I didn't cut this route. And sorry, my dog is being a little bit. Come here, friend. Come here. Come here. Let's say hi. don't know if you guys can see him okay. I've got both of them here. They're upset. Ow, 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 ow. I closed the door so they can't get back up. Okay, you guys can go. Sorry. You guys are fine. The next project that I worked on was a trick or treat. Need to double check who this one was by, but I got 301 stitches. And this is a picture of where it was before. And this is also by Cottage Garden Samplers. And this is where I'm at. So I had finished this first block, and so I just started doing some of the darker color, the outline in this one here. And this kind of stitches up really fast. The next project that I worked on in February, actually the last one that I worked on in February, I'm not going to show this whole thing because it's pretty big because it's on a 16 count. This is Love Owls, Heaven and Earth Design by James Brown. It's on 16 count Ada. This is a picture of where it was before, and it got 1105 stitches in February and 230 so far in March. And you can see I'm nearly done this page. So I've just kind of passed like the halfway point on this page, and this is my main focus piece, just like forever until it's done basically, because this is my oldest project and my oldest full coverage. And then I have two projects that I've worked on in March, and that is my Earth Unicorn by Keely Riley, and that has gotten 400 stitches. Here's a picture of where it was before. She's gotten, this is being stitched on a 25 blush Be Stitch Me fabric, and I'm working this one in a kind of a royal rose method because it's the first one that I started that is not like full coverage. It's got no background, and I'm about 25% into this. You can see the greens in this are just amazing, and there's a couple other ones in this kind of, like, I call it a series, but there's 3 other like unicorns that represent like fire, wind, and water. So I also have those, and they'll also be going with this one. And the last project that I worked on is also the one that gave me the most frustration. So this is Pokemon Home Sweet Home. It's gotten 305 stitches, and I'll put up here where you guys saw it last time, and this is where it is now. Just going to keep it in my Q-snap here. It's one of the only ones that I use my Q-snap for, but I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a bit of a noticeable difference on the sides here. So in here, I'd already ripped out this kind of window area in here once, so when I realized that I was off by 1 stitch on this side, I decided to just leave it. It says Home Sweet Home down here, so I figured, you know, not every home is perfect. There's going to be some you know, cracks and stuff that needs fixing, and so that's what this is going to be. So it's just going to have a bit of a lopsided roof, but I'm going to roll with it. But it is the Pokemon house from Pokemon Red. And then this is red down here. So you can see. And this was just by Lord Libidin. You can get it as a free pattern online that you can find. And I think this is a fabric, I don't know if it's dyed by anyone. I think I just got it off 123 Stitch. But it's an Ada. 14 or 16 count, I'm not quite sure. And it's just called Smoky. So those are all the projects that I worked on. It was quite a size. So I worked on 16 or 17 out of all my whips, and right now I have 24. With my one finish, I'm down to 23, whip means now that I've finished something, that I can start something. I have one other project that's fully kitted up. I also have a few kits that I can work on, so I haven't quite decided yet what I want to grab to start. I have the leeway of just leaving it until I'm ready to start something, or picking something and just rolling with it now. As for plans, because this was a bit of an undertaking, I mean, that was a lot of whips to go through. That was practically a whip parade just for an update. I think I'm going to try and update every 3 weeks instead of a whole month. I had a bit of life that came in the middle of things this time. My mom's room, which is at the back of the house, were kind of at the tail, I'd hope at the tail end of winter here in Canada, and her back room, literally ice was forming on the inside of the windows, and like in huge chunks, so the entire floor was just soaked because of the amount of snow that we've gotten. Some of the snowbanks here, like on the side of the roads, are about 10 feet, and most of the snowbanks at my house are at my shoulders, and I'm about 5'4", 5'3", so we've gotten a lot of snow. So obviously that means we've had insurance adjusters coming in through the house. My mom is sleeping in the living room on the pull-out couch, which is thankfully a really good one. It's super comfy. But basically there's a lot going on, so that means we have to empty the room. They probably won't get to actually doing any of the renovations until, I wouldn't say another month at the rate amount of snow we're still getting. So I think we're still going to be looking at a long-term thing here. And depending on how much work that entails, my videos are probably kind of erratic. In terms of plans for my stitching, I'm still working in my challenge group, and that kind of is dictating the projects that I work on right now. So I have projects that I've assigned to certain challenges. The big one right now is an Australian Survivor and US Survivor, and I would say most of my stitching comes through those two right now. So basically, the two minis and my Love Owls and Celestine are going to get the most work. I think this month anyway. I'll probably will take in my Santa Claus into work for my lunchtime project. I don't always stitch during lunch, but when I do, I like to have something small. I don't want to be dragging my big projects around everywhere. But that's everything. I hope that was an okay video. I really appreciate the few of you who are watching. And I hope that anybody who kind of makes their way over here likes and subscribes. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.